Well, the winner of the Nobel Peace Prize is not Donald Trump. And it should come as no surprise to anybody except for MAGA, who's lost their mind and is even considering putting a resolution into Congress to award Donald Trump the Nobel Peace Prize. Doesn't work that way. Comes from Norway. We got the announcement this morning, and it goes to a very worthy recipient, somebody that even Donald Trump agrees is a freedom fighter, a peacemaker, in the form of Maria Corina Machado, who is the opposition leader in exile against the Maduro regime. Donald Trump hates the Maduro regime in Venezuela, and this is the opponent of the Maduro regime. And I think this was also a little bit of a trolling and middle finger by the Norwegian Nobel Prize Committee in picking Machado apparently over Donald Trump. In fact, let me show you, you're here on Legal AF YouTube on Friday, hit that subscribe button. Let me show you a clip from the announcement made by Jorgen Friednes, who is the chairman of the Nobel Prize Committee. He's also the Secretary General of PEN Norway, who's protective of journalists, writers, freedom of the press. That'll come into play in a minute when I tell you about something he said about Donald Trump in 2024. Let's play the clip of the announcement of Maria Corina Machado.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes?
Yes.
Hello?
Am I talking to Maria Corina Machado?
Yes, this is Maria Corina.
Yes, Maria Corina. My name is Christian Berg-Alpviken. I am the secretary of the Norwegian Nobel Committee in Oslo. And I'm calling to inform you that in a few minutes, it shall be announced here at the Nobel Institute that you will be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for 2025.
Oh my God.
So the warmest congratulations to you, Maria.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, I have no words. I thank you so much, but I hope you understand this is a movement. This is a achievement of a whole society. I am just one person. I certainly do not deserve this. Oh my God.
I think both the movement and you deserve it.
The Norwegian Nobel Committee has decided to award the Nobel Peace Prize for 2025 to Maria Corina Machado. She is receiving the Nobel Peace Prize for her tireless work promoting democratic rights for the people of Venezuela.
Now, even Donald Trump thinks Maria Corina Machado is a worthy recipient because when she was jailed last year, this is what Trump said about Machado. That, again, this is when the Maduro regime crushed dissent, rejected the results of the election denying, think Jan 6th, Venezuelan style, and then started to arrest thousands of people and killed dozens more. Here's what Trump said about Machado after she was arrested. Peacefully expressing the voices and the will of the Venezuelan people, with hundreds of thousands of people demonstrating against the regime, the great Venezuelan American community in the United States overwhelmingly support a free Venezuela. These freedom fighters should not be harmed and must stay safe and alive. I agree. If you want to know more about Maria Corina Machado, she was interviewed back in 2023 remotely by 60 Minutes. Let's play the 60 Minutes clip.
Maria Corina Machado, the face of the opposition, who would have run for president herself if Maduro hadn't barred her, is in hiding.
I've been accused of terrorism. The dictatorship has said that they are looking for me and that they want to get me as soon as possible. Venezuela is today the biggest migration crisis in the world. Almost 25% of the population that remains in Venezuela thinking about leaving. This is huge. This could be 5-6 million Venezuelans leaving the country.
Now, it should come as no surprise that the Nobel Prize Committee did not take kindly to Donald Trump's constant hectoring and whining and lobbying for the Nobel Prize, including as recently as this week. I solved the Middle East peace crisis. Well, that's yet to be seen. I solved Hamas and Israel. I'm not so sure about that. And I'm not so sure how what's left of either side of this morally or physically. But I can tell you that the Nobel Prize Committee doesn't like their Nobel Peace Prize winners to have bombed their way to the prize, to have humanitarian crisis their way to the prize, to have taken credit for solving conflict around the world that he did not do. And they don't like a president, particularly Donald Trump, who has suppressed free speech in his own country. We've got journalists under attack in the streets of Chicago. We've got, by the Trump administration, we've got Donald Trump's bully pulpit attacking the press in America as the enemy of the people. We've got the bully pulpit of Caroline Leavitt from the White House press room attacking the media on a daily or hourly basis. And so if you want a little window into the thinking of the committee, here's what Jørgens Freidnes said in an interview in 2024 for Norway PEN, which is an organization like all the PEN organizations in favor of stopping suppression of speech and attacks on the press. Here's what he said about Donald Trump in particular in 2024. In the United States, or more concerning was the erosion of freedom of expression, even in democratic nations. In the United States, President Donald Trump launched more than 100 verbal attacks on the media during his election campaign. I think it was more than that. Israel became the world's second largest jailer of journalists. Meanwhile, in Europe, peaceful protesters face bans and criminal charges simply for voicing their opinions. Others on the committee expressed disdain for Donald Trump's constant lobbying. I better get the Peace Prize. I've solved 9 conflicts around the world. Don Jr., retweet, re-slack, restack, repost if you think my father should get the Nobel Peace Prize. And now you've got it's gotten so bad that a member of Congress, a MAGA member of Congress, is going to offer a resolution to make Donald Trump the Nobel Prize winner through America. That's not how that works. Let's watch that clip.
And Donald Trump has done that, and I applaud him for that. That's why he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize, and that's why I'm introducing a resolution for a sense of Congress today that will honor him with the Nobel Peace Prize. And if need be, we'll call for a discharge petition on that. I hope we can work with the Speaker, though, and get it on the floor for a vote.
Do you think Democrats will ever acknowledge his role in this peace process?
No. I don't think so. And let's face it, right now, what we're witnessing with Chuck Schumer is just trying to be more anti-Trump than AOC because he's afraid he's going to get primaried by her. They have such a Trump derangement syndrome over there that I doubt anything that it is going to help President Trump or honor President Trump is going to be supported by the Democrats.
I want to quickly.
So, as I said, I believe Donald Trump knew he was not going to get the Nobel Peace Prize this morning. I believe I'm confident that the indictment of Letitia James yesterday was a way to step on the news cycle, to gain some more power as he's been losing in the courts in Chicago, related to the National Guard. He had a terrible day with his handpicked prosecutor, Lindsay Halligan, in the James Comey arraignment. And right on top of that, Letitia James, I think him knowing he's not winning the Nobel Peace Prize. Is he going to win it next year? I don't know. But he's certainly pissing off the committee enough that I doubt he will ever win the Nobel Peace Prize. And for good reason. I like my Nobel Peace Prize winners not to have bombed their way to the prize, not to have bungled their way with tens of thousands of people dead in Ukraine because of Donald Trump's bungling. I think the Nobel Prize Committee is watching his mishaps, which is causing human suffering on the Ukraine side in Russia. He saw the bombing of Iran, which he's claiming created peace with Israel. I'm not sure that's a sustainable peace. And then taking credit for things around the world that others in those countries are like, are you kidding me? He He took credit for that. That was France. That was us. That was some other peacemaker. But Donald Trump loves writing in bold print and making it all, it's going to fly to the Middle East because we have peace in the Middle East. I don't know if we have peace in the Middle East. I think we've got a resolution of many outcomes of Gaza and Israel. Is it permanent? Does it create a homeland for the Palestinian people? Does it create respectful borders? Does it create lower the temperature for future terrorist attacks around the world? I doubt that. But we'll continue to follow it as we always do. We don't blow smoke or sunshine. Thanks for being here on Friday on Legal AF. I wanted to jump on this story. I was talking about it yesterday. I said he wasn't going to win. So I wanted to come in and do a little bit more reporting about the rationale behind that. So until my next report, come over to Legal AF Substack as well. Hit that subscribe button. I'm Michael Popok. Can't get your fill of Legal AF? Me neither. That's why we formed the Legal AF Substack. Every time we mention something in a hot take, whether it's a court filing or a oral argument, come over to the Substack. You'll find the court filing and the oral argument there, including a daily roundup that I do called, wait for it, Morning AF. What else? All the other contributors from Legal AF are there as well. We got some new reporting. We got interviews. We got ad-free versions of the podcast and hot takes. Where? Legal AF on Substack. Come over now to free subscribe.